The Curse of the Talking Drum. This is a tale from deep within the heart of Africa. A tale whispered around dying fires and carried on the wind. Some stories are meant to teach, some to warn, and some, like this one, are not meant to be told at all. They say every village has a story, one that no one dares speak aloud. In Taka village, it was the story of the talking drum, a drum said to hold the voices of the dead. Under a pale full moon, the village lay silent. A single bonfire flickered in the night breeze, shadows dancing across mud huts. Against one hut leaned an ancient drum, its surface cracked, lined with cowrie shells and faint red stains. The villagers whispered in hushed tones, careful never to look directly at it. Somewhere in the distance, a slow and heavy boom, boom, echoed through the air. Even the crickets dared not sing. But Nibura was not afraid. He was tired of warnings and stories told only to frighten children. That night, when his grandmother slept, he slipped quietly from their hut, carrying a lantern. He glanced over his shoulder once, then vanished down the narrow forest path. Shadows stretched unnaturally around him. The drumbeat grew louder with every step. Somewhere in the darkness, a voice whispered his name. Mist hung low over the ground as he entered the grove. Moonlight barely filtered through twisted trees marked with strange carvings. The forest was so still that even the owl perched above him made no sound. Nibura's breath came in shallow clouds, his heart pounding in time with the deep, distant rhythm. The elders had warned that even animals feared this place. But Nibura pressed on, step by step, drawn forward by the sound, until the very air seemed alive. Then he saw it. A clearing opened before him, bathed in silver light. At its center stood a stone altar carved with ancient patterns. And upon it rested the drum, glowing faintly, as if alive. His hands trembled as he stepped closer. Against every instinct, he reached out. His fingers brushed the cracked hide. The drum answered. Boom. 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 The sound erupted, shaking the ground beneath him. Shadows exploded from the earth, swirling around him like black smoke. They twisted and shifted into shapes, faces of warriors, kings, and strangers long forgotten. Some wore masks. Others had no eyes. The trees creaked and bent inward, trapping him in the circle. The whispers began. A chorus of voices spoke in countless tongues, overlapping in eerie harmony. Return, blood, return, sacrifice. They called his name over and over, their voices a haunting song of hunger and memory. Then he saw it. A clearing opened before him, bathed in silver light. At its center stood a stone altar carved with ancient patterns. And upon it rested the drum, glowing faintly, as if alive. His hands trembled as he stepped closer. Against every instinct, he reached out. His fingers brushed the cracked hide. The drum answered. Nibura ran. He turned left, then right, but every path led him back to the altar. The spirits closed in, glowing hands reaching from the mist. The sky burned red. The drumbeat quickened, frantic now, pounding like 1,000 hearts. Nibura screamed, but the forest swallowed the sound. Then he understood. The drum wasn't a warning. It was a lure. The hands dragged him down into the swirling dark. His lantern fell, its flame sputtering out. For a moment, there was nothing but silence. Then, far off, a single crow cried into the night. Every century, the grove demanded a soul. This time, Nibura was chosen. And so the forest fell quiet again. The altar stood alone beneath the moon, the cursed drum glowing faintly upon it. Back in the village, the elders sat silently by the fire, their faces grave, their eyes fixed on the distant tree line. If you listen closely at midnight, they say, you can still hear it. The drum that speaks. The drum that warns. The drum that hungers.